Check. Good morning. Hello. Are we on the air? All right. Hey, that's what you call a hard, cold opening. Go ahead. I like it. Good morning. John Pilates, Scott Mugna with you on the Wednesday edition of the Hutty Show, along with station owner and management Tommy Hutty Hutchison running the controls this morning. I always love his disclaimer before the show, Scott, that the opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of station management when he's the one who casts the majority of the opinions to start with.
Yeah, it's always fun and interesting. But they're not of the station, so don't get confused.
Those are his.
The line may look a little blurry, but it's true. It's
Would you stop getting into it with the Facebook folks, too? They have you in timeout still.
I wasn't going to talk today.
Well, you got to put your mic on if you're going to talk.
I'm trying to be a nice guy and let y'all talk. Look, no, still mad because he could talk last week. I don't want to hear you talk about football.
I thought last week's conversation went very well, quite frankly. I thought it was a healthy conversation. We ought to do it more. But we were just surprised. What's the difference? What's the difference? Back to John's point, if you can't hear us on Facebook, if you're listening to us on the radio, if you've got friends and listeners that are missing us on Facebook, and I heard a lot about that since last Wednesday, let me just remind you how to find us on YouTube, because it's worth it. YouTube's going to be a place to find us from this point forward. Look for Hutty's Show, no apostrophe in Hutty, Hutty's Show, or if you want to go directly to the handle on YouTube, it's at Hutty's Show 2681. Spread the word. Call your neighbors, the ones that are missing us on Facebook.
That's complicated.
It is complicated, but that's how you find us.
It's easy, but I'm okay now. We're getting it set up where we'll be on both of them. See, eventually, what I was doing, I got red tag for nothing. Facebook, you can't talk to nobody. I mean, you got text. And have you ever tried to that's a computer? It's not you're a lawyer.
No, I understand completely. I always had trouble dealing with social platforms, and quite frankly, almost anybody these days. They don't want you to talk to humans, whether it's on the phone or on the internet or social. So I get that. You're absolutely right. There's no human interface anymore.
Somebody put it on my website, but anyway, we're on. I got it set up where we can back on and run both of them. Plus, we're going to be. There's another one we're going to be on. See, I want to start that TV program. It's a matter of time.
The man's trying to keep Hutty down.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah,
Hey,
it's a free speech issue.
When I ran for office, I had everybody in the world shooting at me, and every time they shot at me, I had to go another way for keep the arrow from hitting me.
is that why?
Same way here.
That's why you rode the golf cart?
Well, it's faster than my feet.
It's a First Amendment advocate issue, and Hutty's leading the charge.
Yeah, golf cart. You remind me of that when I rode at Russell High School going around the houses passing out cards.
Uh-huh.
And I won't say who it is. You don't do that. I doubt you even know it. The guy that the Masons, which I'm a Mason, retired, 50 years, 50 something years. He run me down. He getting on to me. And poor Mike Green, I'm not knocking him. I said, well, you backing Mike Green. You're supposed to be backing me. I'm the Mason. He's not. And he's going to turn me into all the old stuff and all that stuff. I said, you one hell of a Mason, I'll tell you that. I run him off, too.
No loyalty,
No.
huh?
Well, I believe if you're supposed to do something, and when people get mad at me when I say something, I've got my proof.
I really think if you'll put your mouth toward a mic, the listeners might be able to hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
Welcome to the segment of the show where Hutty doesn't talk.
you're sure doing a lot of not talking
Well, you
by
know what?
talking.
I mean, you wouldn't let my man talk last week.
I think we all talked pretty well last week.
Let's talk, since we're talking about elections. Let's talk about qualifying, which is ongoing for state, federal, and local office. And if you are running locally as a Republican and you have not already filed your paperwork with the local Democratic Party, I had a chance to speak with Glenn Garrison, the Republican Party chairman of Franklin County. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. is the deadline that he set for qualifying. That's much earlier than the Friday, January 23rd deadline that the state has and the local Democratic Party has. And
what was the need for the earlier date?
He said that there's a lot of paperwork and legwork and things that he has to file and get ready. And
I'm suspicious.
Candidate screening committee will have to meet and go over the filings. Could somebody sneak in a application or qualifying form afterwards? Very possibly, but right now, tomorrow at 5 p.m. set as a deadline if you want to qualify locally in Franklin County.
That just sounds suspicious to me. I'm sorry.
So far, Scott, 8 that I know of have qualified for local office, with a 9th. I talked to yesterday or Monday the incumbent county commissioner for District 1, Grayson Murray, who was appointed by Governor Ivey's office to fill out his father's term, indicated he is planning on filing his qualifying papers this week.
No surprise there.
There are 4. If he runs, there would be 4 in that race, and it's essentially the same 4 who were given interviews by the governor's office when this job was open in 2024 after the passing of Commissioner Michael Murray. Curtis Baker, Miles Gaston, and Joey Norton are the 3 qualifiers so far for Franklin County Commission District 1. The winner of that will be elected to complete the term, which expires in 2028, and then they will run again with the rest of the county commission on the regular election cycle.
Yeah.
Board of Education for Franklin County Place 3 is the only one up this time. This is what most folks call the Vina district, and it includes the geographic area of Vina High School. Pat Cochran is the incumbent, and he is running for re-election in the Republican primary. No opponent as of Monday. Franklin County Coroner, an interesting scenario there. Charles Adcox, the Republican incumbent, is running for another term. He will be challenged by one of his deputy coroners, Jeff Clark, who announced that he was going to seek that office as well last month. Franklin County Revenue Commissioner, one of the 2 full-time positions on the ballot. Incumbent Republican Strap Byers has filed his paperwork to run for another term as of Monday. No opponent yet for him.
Strat's a good man.
Finally, for Franklin County Sheriff, the incumbent Republican Shannon Oliver is seeking another term, and so far, 1 qualifier against him in the Republican primary, former Russellville police officer Brian Shackelford, who I think most folks know as Spanky. I think he's done some work part-time in Phil Campbell. He was also Bear Creek Development Authority park ranger, and may have worked for some time on the police force at Northwest Shoals Community College, but the bulk of his career was spent in Russellville. So got 2 right there. And as I mentioned, qualifying will continue at the state and federal level at least through Friday at 5 p.m. on January 23rd. And for local candidates wanting to run in the Republican Party, you need to reach out and get your paperwork filed this week with the January 15th, 5 p.m. deadline, according to Franklin County Republican Party Chairman Glenn Garrison. So time is a waste. And you throwing your hat in any of these races, Scott?
No, I'm keeping my hat on my head.
Hat's out. Okay.
Yeah, my hat's on my head. When is the Democratic local committee deadline for qualifying?
It coincides with the state, which is the 23rd at 5 p.m.
Which, again, makes the Republican qualifying date that much more suspicious.
It's weird. And I should mention, too, I talked with Rick Neighbors, the chairman of the Democratic Party in Franklin County. No Democratic qualifiers as of Monday, although the committee was going to meet last night to talk about some possible candidates to get on the ballot. But, you know, for those who've been involved, Hutty, in local politics for some time, it still takes some getting used to see everybody running in the Republican primary and nobody running in the Democratic primary,
It used to be right
which
out.
was sort of an afterthought because, like you said, it was totally the opposite.
Well, I'll give you a different observation, especially after last week's conversation on this show with Rick Neighbors. And that's, so where are the Democratic candidates that they claim that they've got to put up?
Now.
So if you don't come to play, you can't win.
They were, most of those were Republicans.
We do have a statewide candidate coming to Franklin County
They were Democrats then.
this week. Scott, we have the town of Phil Campbell and Mayor Greg Williams sent me an announcement yesterday that Dr. Nicole Wadsworth, a Republican candidate for Alabama Lieutenant Governor, will be in Phil Campbell this Friday at 1 p.m. at the Phil Campbell Senior or Community Center for a meet and greet with residents. And she invites all business owners, area and town officials, local candidates, school officials, police and firefighters to attend and discuss helping the town of Phil Campbell with grants for rebuilding. Grants, Hutty, you've had a lot of opinions on Phil Campbell town grants through the last 15 years. Maybe you need to attend.
Well, what I see, she's on our program a lot.
The Wadsworth lady? Mm-hmm. Good morning. You're on the Hutty Show.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all this lovely day?
Just mention the word Republican and Pat calls. Like Pavlov's dog.
Well,
We love you,
more
Pat.
like more like Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah. What's going on with you this morning?
Are you telling us
Well,
you're throwing your hat in the ring?
Well, I think I probably won't throw my hat in the ring, but I do have a holy pair of underwear that I'm thinking about throwing in the
There
ring.
you go. You know, Pat.
John, I need to answer that question that you just posed to try to help out. I'm here to uncover the wisdom that many people lack. But you asked, where are the Democrats? And I can tell you unequivocally that they're all running as Republicans.
Amen.
Well,
Does seem that way, doesn't it?
Well, that's the way they've governed, so I don't know. I'm not a smart man. I just try to
Amen.
No, you put it that
call it
way.
like I see it.
Yep, and you put it that way, given how this is set up, and John's described it, you described it, and how we've seen it through several of the past cycles, without a doubt. But we're actually 126 days away from the Alabama general election, as opposed to the primary, like they like to call it, because whatever happens in the primary in May is exactly what's going to happen in November. It's like we ought to just combine the two and save ourselves some expense.
But did y'all watch TV last night, the Alabama?
State of the State
the state-
address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Ivy's final State of the State address.
That's what I read it, I listened to it, but what tickled me to death, our state representative, Frank Merritt, and Western County, right behind him. You know, he's about fourth in line, third or fourth in line.
Senator Gudger,
Yeah.
and she mentioned him by name. He's definitely on the short list for higher state office
He'll be
at
governor
some
next.
point.
He's a good man.
You know, if you wanted to pat Governor Ivy on the back for a job well done in her 10 years as governor, last night you would have had to ask her to move her hand. She did a lot of self-congratulations on...
That's always, when she gives a State of the State address, it's always a good time.
She pats her back all right. That back sore.
Well, you know what? I tend to agree with you, Pat, on that point, and John, but this is her last one, so she gets to take a victory lap.
Thank God.
And then we'll get a new governor next year.
Such a turnaround in political fortune to being Alabama, really our most probably powerful governor we've had in over 3 decades, and survived challenges from some very popular elected officials, including Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle a few years ago. And
Yep.
And when you think about, Pat, where she started, which was when she was the state treasurer and the prepaid tuition program went belly up under her watch, it's quite a turnaround.
Well, look at it.
Hey, John, do you remember what party she was in when that took place?
I do not. Was she a Democratic elected official when she was?
I'm 100% sure that she was a lefty and stayed a lefty even when she was in. She tried to imitate a righty.
Well,
Yeah.
that was during the time when you had both statewide in the early 2000s. You had some, our governors by that time were generally Republican. You had a growing number, but you also had a number of Democrats still at the state level. But I'm not positive the answer to that. That's something I will check on. I can tell you as of Monday that there are 3 qualifiers for the office of governor. Of course, Tommy Tuberville is on the short list as a Republican candidate, and there are 2 Democrats so far, Will Boyd and Doug Jones. What is Doug Jones' agenda running for governor again? He was in a...
Money. That's to raise money. That's all that's about.
That and visibility. He's trying to become king of the prom again. It's a popularity vote that he's trying to gain.
He got into it with the Democratic Party a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we heard Rick Neighbors talking about that last night, but he's thrown his hat in for governor. So,
hey, Pat, you were exactly right. In 1982, Kay Ivey ran as state auditor as a Democrat, but lost the primary to Jan Cook. So
Everybody ran as Democrat back then.
Yeah.
Come on, John. It's
Yeah.
like the same people that ran against then run for Republican now.
but what was she when she was elected to? I thought she was treasurer. Maybe she was.
she
auditor.
was. She took office as state treasurer in 2003.
As a Republican.
I can't. Yes, she was the first Republican state-elected state treasurer since Reconstruction. How's that for a historic?
And the first to bankrupt Alabama's prepaid tuition program.
There you go.
State.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you. I didn't know if you knew this. I'm headed down to see the doctor today in Birmingham, and they sent me a little pre-qualifier. You have to spend all this time filling out information, and they asked me what I identified as, and I told them a two-spirit penguin, and I had to type that in. They didn't have it on there anywhere.
I'll be down.
And then they asked me what my pronouns were.
What are they?
And not being very well versed in school as I was, and not paying a lot of attention, I just wrote in there always right.
Always right.
That's your pronoun. I like that.
How come you
Those
won't allow
are
them
my
people?
pronouns.
Pat, I don't think I've ever told you this. I think we're really getting overboard with these pronoun usage. And again, I'm somebody. I mean, you live your own life. However, that's your call. But biologically, you are one or the other, regardless of how you identify. But I was at a Memphis Grizzlies game last year and looking up the 3 officials that were calling the game on the NBA referees website, and the third one, every time it mentioned where she had gone to school or she had previously officiated, it was they. And I thought, who they? As a editor and a newspaper publisher, gross grammatical errors like that drive me crazy. A single person is never they. But in our world today, we have a they.
Oh, they, them, us, we. That's pronouns for them. I don't understand how you can be a plural.
Do we throw the English language completely out of the
No, it's
you don't study that in college any longer?
It's worse than that, Pat. We threw logic and common sense right out too.
And again,
we have no room for that.
How she meets somebody and tells them what sex she is or isn't is her call. But as a society, is it necessary that we have a laundry list of pronouns to describe people?
No.
It just seems like we've the pendulum has swung too far. And if we've talked about this extensively, Hutty, as when Democratic candidates speak up and try to rein in some of that extreme liberalism, they're vilified by their own party members. They eat them alive before the voters can ever get to them. So they've really got a difficult situation there, because the only electable Democrat would be a moderate, and a moderate the party's going to reject. So it's very much a catch-22 for the Democrats in Alabama.
Oh, yeah, they're weeding them out now, national level, state level.
It's real simple. Do you think the Democrat Party is going to survive?
I do not.
Sure, absolutely.
No,
one says no, one says yes.
It's not only going to survive, Hutty, it's going to thrive.
Now, what? I mean, could I ask you why you say that?
Okay, you asked.
Well, hey, yeah.
The reason why is because we have institutions of higher learning spread all across the United States that produce socialists. And these young socialists that are coming out of college thinks everybody owes them everything. Therefore, that's how you get somebody voted into office in New York City that makes all of these promises of free stuff that he cannot produce.
Yep.
It's impossible.
Well, that happened when I ran for office. They promised all this stuff. Hell, we ain't got nothing.
See, I think Pat and I are both right.
We have these institutes of higher learning that makes educated idiots.
Pat and I are both right. The question was, will they exist? Yeah, they'll exist. I think the question is, will they win, which is why I say no. Because even if it takes another cycle or two where the actual reality proves Mondami wrong in all his free stuff, and anybody else trying to do that, I mean, they'll come around again and they say, well, the Democrats can't deliver. So they might still exist, especially like you point out, Pat, in the university level, because they keep pumping them out. But I don't think they'll exist up on Capitol Hill or the state houses.
Do you see another party?
I'm all for independent and third parties. I think part of what's fixing the broken two-party system in this country is allowing much easier access for independent candidates and third parties. That's how you fix the two-party system, because they're not going to come to their senses until somebody from the outside of their little world starts to challenge them and starts to win.
Pat, let me give you a little free education this morning. According to the
Thank you.
LGBTQIA Resource Center, there are, of course, the common pronouns she, her, his, him, her, they, them. There are additional non-binary pronouns, and it is important to use someone's correct pronoun as a way of affirming their identity and being and a fundamental step in being an ally. According to this site, there are 51 pronouns that are available.
That was right up there with
To
how many
just-
different sexes there were a year ago. Remember that one?
Yes. And if you look again, I mean, people, you got a right to live your own life, but 50 pronouns to describe your gender.
Hey, John, do we not need to go back to Saturday morning educational television, Conjunction Junction, and
I remember
Well,
all the Schoolhouse Rocks. Loved them.
yeah, the Schoolhouse Rock.
Loved them. Are you suggesting 2025 Schoolhouse Rocks on gender identity?
Well, no.
Okay. No.
Back to common sense. How do you write a paper today and get that paper graded if you struggle with pronouns? And I didn't realize there were 50. I know that they didn't actually acknowledge my always right.
No, back when we were having the discussion about how many different sexes there are, I was on a conference call about a year and a half ago with some folks up in D.C., and on a sidebar conversation while we were getting ready for the meeting to start, one of the guys said, "Do you guys realize that somebody put out a list with like 40 some odd different sexes that people are claiming to be?" And another guy on the phone said, "You know, if I had $1 for every different sex there would be, I'd have $2 and a lot of counterfeit money."
Yeah. You know, it's not just the LGBT community. I mean, you can describe yourself however you want, but it's the forced, so just like polygamists. My wife, for whatever reason, is obsessed with this Sister Wives show where, you know, it's the one guy and his 4 wives. And of course, legally, you know, we don't live in the 1800s. He is married to the first one as his wife, and the others are, quote, sister wives, although not recognized by state or federal law. They are, in their own eyes, married. That's fine. And if he wants to describe 4 different women as his wife, that's his call. But it doesn't mean that society and societal traditional standards have to be molded to accommodate everybody else's feelings and identity.
I'll break it down to even a little bit more crisper and clear than what you just said, which I wholeheartedly agree. You be whoever you want to be, even if that means you need to pretend to be that. But you have absolutely no right to force me to pretend along with you or the rest of the society.
All three of y'all are pretending right now. I guarantee you.
It's just like, Hutty, when
it's never my responsibility. I don't think that it should ever be my responsibility to indulge in your delusion.
Look, my wife and I travel a lot, and we are seeing an ever-growing number of pet owners taking pets on trips with them. Pet travel is booming. And, you know, a lot of places have the policy that pets are not welcome, only service animals. Well, you have a lot of folks who get on the internet, and for $19.99, they order Rover service dog jacket, and suddenly, you know, he or she's a service dog. And if they want to call that a service dog, that's fine. I'm not gonna call them out, see their paperwork, but it's the same thing with how folks identify themselves. That's fine, but don't expect everybody else to shift their community standards.
What's wrong with these people? Hell, I want to carry my dog off and drop it off somewhere.
Oh, that's not nice.
Hey, John, I'm trying to understand the connection with that Sister Wives show. I'm trying to understand that connection because at any point in time, I'm subject to have 10 extra personalities with the one woman I have.
Yeah, that's right.
I got use for you, son. You're lucky to have her.
You know, we used to.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that there's bonuses there.
We used to hear about a lot more, and it was a subject of movies and TV shows that somebody had multiple personalities. You know, they would be normal one day, then they would be a teenage girl, then the next day they were a railroad conductor in the late 1800s. Nobody has multiple personalities anymore, where they're switching roles. What happened to that? Maybe our society doesn't let multiple personalities.
Well, we evolved. That's because, just like you said earlier, we got 67
Evolution.
pronouns and 47
I
sexes.
guess so.
Yeah, so we evolved.
I don't think I have. Everybody still calls me
Hey, John?
SOB.
SOB is still your pronoun, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey. Oh, me, that's cool. Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
Quick question for you. I didn't know if you had looked on the Alabama High School Athletic Association website, but they have now moved Muscle Shoals and Coleman into 5A. Did they also move them into Russell's region?
Well, that has not officially happened. It will be next Friday, the 23rd, right when election qualifying ends. We'll get the much-awaited reclassification from the High School Athletic Association. One proposal that is under serious consideration has it coincides with if the AHSAA removes private schools and puts them in their own classification for playoffs, then you would drop down to where you'd only have 32 6A and 32 7A schools. There's also a model where they would eliminate 7A. So you'd have schools dropping down. And yes, that proposal would have Russellville in with some of its old foes from the early 2000s, late 1990s.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Hartselle, Coleman, Muscle Shoals, Decatur. So we'll see if that happens. Another proposal is that they could just kick the can down the road 2 years and continue to revisit how they're going to. What they're doing now, Pat. This is weird too. Private schools, whatever your enrollment is, or what they call your average daily membership, they multiply it by 1.38 to offset the competitive advantage. In other words, since private schools get to pick and choose who comes there, and it's not just walk in the door like a public school, then their enrollment is multiplied by 1.38 in order to determine their classification. Your public schools say that's not enough, that private schools are still dominating. The private schools say
They pick who they want.
it's a disparate treatment and it's not fair. We've also got the issue continuing, and you heard the governor talk about it last night, patting herself on the back for the Choose Act, and she wants to see even more money leaving our public schools to follow students to private schools.
They was smart, no way.
I still have questions about how state tax dollars and federal tax dollars can fund private school education, but
If the public school system isn't educating our kids and doing a poor job of it, I got zero problem with it. My answer to that is
subjective standard, Scott.
well, some of it is, some of it is. But if you believe the ratings that they have, they're all over the board too. I don't know if there's any trusted ratings out there on top of that.
Yeah.
But my point is parents ought to have a choice to do what they want.
They
They've
do have
already
a choice.
Well, yeah, but they already paid that money into the taxes. Why can't they take it back?
It's not it's state taxpayer. It's just like saying, under your thinking,
Taxpayer.
under your analogy there, you fall in with these Franklin County folks who say that
Where the hell
I
you
burn
live
my
at?
own garbage, so I don't use garbage, and therefore I shouldn't be charged the fee.
Where the hell
I
you
don't.
live at?
That's
Yeah, hey,
not.
Wait a minute, John. You got into the garbage department now. You need to leave that alone. We
Hey,
need
now
to
listen
charge
to me.
garbage whether we use
Hey,
it or
hey,
not.
hey, buddy, he's an expert on garbage now.
And I got to where now after paying garbage for so many years, whether I use it or not, I put an empty garbage can out. They're going to empty that, dude, whether there's anything in it or not.
Yeah, there you go.
Get your money's worth.
I don't think that's an apples-to-apples comparison, John, because we're
Nobody
talking
will.
about our
I don't
kids'
think-
education.
I don't think it is.
And
either.
you've got the right.
Hey,
If your child's best educational option is private school or homeschool, a parent has that right. But should state tax dollars follow that child to a private school with a religious, church-based curriculum?
If a significant amount of parents think that the public schools aren't educating their kids, I think they absolutely do, and I think those taxpayer dollars, emphasis on taxpayers,
First
can
off,
follow them.
If
The point,
if
the,
superintendents,
So
or
you have-
state superintendent, if they ain't doing a damn job, the teachers,
yeah,
and
yeah.
if they're not, then I'm for education.
So
and
you
that's
have no
the-
problem with
that's the
those
point
tax
I'm making,
dollars
Hutty.
flowing to a school run by a mosque in Alabama?
I have no problem with your school dollars following the child. I have no problem.
I have none.
To
but,
a mosque.
But my point is, why
Yeah,
can't
you hear
public
that, Jimmy?
schools?
They don't respond to
I
that.
don't know. I'll respond to it. There
Hey,
are
John,
good
wait
religious
just a minute.
schools and there are bad religious
Jimmy,
schools.
go out there and throw,
You
get my
got to
car,
do
my
both.
gun.
My point is the public
Hell,
schools and their officials need to up their game if the parents don't think they're doing it, and that's how private schools help do that for them. The competition is not a bad thing.
And that's fine. And they should be able to move their child. But this is a separate issue of funding for that. A private school, it's just like on your insurance, Scott, when you worked for FedEx, you had insurance. If the physician, and I'm sure y'all probably had good insurance, but if a certain physician is authorized by your insurance company, but you want to go to a different doctor who's not, you've got that right, but that doesn't mean that your insurance is compelled to pay for that,
Yeah,
or that because you've paid the premium.
Yeah, I think you're back into the garbage argument because that's a whole different beast and that's a whole different racket and scheme in the
I don't know.
healthcare plan system. But again, I think when you're talking about kids, you're talking about the future generation, parents ought to have the final and biggest say in that process. And it's up to public schools and public officials to prove that they can do a better job. Fortunately, in Franklin County, we live in a pretty good damn county that has good school systems, both locally and countywide. And so that's how it ought to be. If people are sending their kids to private schools and keeping them out of the county and city schools in Franklin County, all right, that's their decision. But not every kid in the state or the country has that option.
You're right. They're failing schools. I agree.
That don't just cover
Therein lies the conundrum. We have good schools in Franklin County, but not every place has the good school system.
That's
and
right.
Don't have good schools. I really think like I don't have an issue with the money following the child. I really don't have a problem with that. The parents are taxed on that money. Those taxes should be able to use for the betterment of that child.
Well,
And if it takes that child out and goes to a different school, now John, what you brought up was even if that money goes to a mosque, that is a separate debate. Comes to that aspect of it, I'm totally against mosque. I don't think there should be an Islamic mosque in the United States at all. On any part of our soil, it should not be there.
You can't pick and choose the
said
argument that a parent has a right. If you think they have a right to put their child's education in the locale they think is best, and it's a mosque, organized school, just because you don't agree with that doesn't, to be consistent, shouldn't the money go to the mosque?
Well, look, just
because I don't agree with it, if the politicians allow that mosque to be there, if they allow that to be there, I can't discriminate against that mosque the same level I can't discriminate against a Catholic school or a different Protestant denomination having a school. You can't discriminate between those two schools. Having said that, the mosque ought not to be there to start with.
What if we start having schools, Scott, that are all white?
Well,
the only students they'll admit this private school are white students.
We're all wearing muddy boots and just walking all over the Bill of Rights in this conversation. It's unbelievable.
I tend to agree with
So
that.
let me give you my example of that. And as you all are from, frequently remind me that I am from New York City. You all frequently remind me that I'm from New York City. Right? Where I grew up, you went to public schools for the most part. There were Catholic schools, predominantly Catholic schools. There were some other Christian schools that you went to, all private. You had to pay for them. But where I went to school, most of the folks that were of the Jewish denomination, of the Jewish religion, all went to public schools. And then afterwards, their synagogues held something called Hebrew school. And that's where they got their indoctrination for their religion and got their religious teachings and all that. I always thought that was an excellent model. And to your point on mosques, Pat, look, it's a religion. We have religious freedom in this country. They're going to happen. I think that's the way to approach that as opposed to a full-time mosque school. Maybe go back to that original. They probably cringe when I say go follow the Jewish Hebrew school model. But I think that's the model you use there. We all went to Sunday school. Wasn't that part of your religious teachings and indoctrination as well?
Somebody needs to explain to me then, if I'm going to go along with your argument, what the criteria are to make sure. I mean, public schools, whether you like them or not, you got to admit they have standards and
they did
criteria that the state and federal government throws on them. What are those criteria for private schools? Harrison, Arkansas, considered one of America's most racist communities, a white-only school. Parents decide their child should be educated in a school that won't admit anyone but white kids. Should their tax dollars be flowing to that school that's discriminating? If it's got...
Hey, John, what does the Constitution say about that?
Well, I thought the
It doesn't make a difference
Constitution...
whether I like it. Wait, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I like it or I agree with it or I disagree with it. Whatever the Constitution says is what's got to happen.
Well, you don't think it should happen with the mosque, but the white-only school you're okay with.
I didn't say. What I actually said, John, was if we're going to, if politicians going to allow mosques and to have schools, I can't argue with that. I mean, I can't go against that, whether I agree with it or disagree with it. In fact, I would vehemently disagree with it. But I can't discriminate against that religion just because it's a religion that I don't agree with.
It's not religion, son. If y'all just stop and think, what in the world everybody raising Cain? Now, I used to have a TV program, Tri-Cities, and I'd go through shows Christian and watch the coach at basketball coach at Hamilton, Russell.
Patrick Odom?
He was the head football coach. And I tell you what, he was one of the finest gentlemen there. They ran a scraper. And I went to Mars Hill, which I give them a hard time. The whole problem is it's not where the money goes. What they use that money for is like, now you know what I know. Later on, not Joe Christian, but Mars Hill does. Kids come all the way from Prattville, Alabama, and play against the kids from Hackleburg, Russell, and where else. They go out of the best ones, and they pay tuition.
Right.
And that's the whole problem behind the whole damn thing. If they put them in a different division of their own section, you won't have that problem. You won't have that problem about taxes or worried about. But both schools are good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been to both of them. I've been there with just women.
And honey, you're proving my point about my New York City example too. All those schools were good. All those people grew up to be good adults.
Yeah.
All of them were my friends, relatives, etc. And so it does work, and parents are entitled to raise their kids in those areas.
Well, we played
the
ball.
issue became tax dollars, and the fundamental basis issue that we're talking about today and are in today's headlines is, are those tax dollars being used efficiently, effectively, and appropriately?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And the Minnesota fraud issue tells you in big bold headlines,
All right,
it
now,
is not.
Since you interrupt me, I'll interrupt you.
Well, you told me I didn't talk enough, so I'm talking enough.
Well, hell, you keep talking. you look right here. All right, I'll just use Hackenberg, Phil Campbell, Brilliant, all these schools around here, small. Listen to me. We don't have the money and the jobs for the schools to get it. A lot of they do the best they can do right here. We had the principal yesterday from here at Hackberg. They do a good job. The problem is, it's not the schools, boys. It all comes back where they get their publicity. Sports. Where it's football, basketball, track. It don't make it. It's sports. It's where they get to. And when they go and they can go out and recruit, we have to take the farmer, the mechanic, kids raised here to stay in their division. Just like you take Hackenberg. We got that right here. We don't have a big territory to go. Now, I'm a field camel. I'm a bobcat. They go all the way near Pebble. Are you following?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's different. They could go anywhere and recruit. They do.
And in case y'all think my analogy is far-fetched, Scott and Pat, according to what y'all are saying, then you should have no issue with a parent in Homewood, Alabama, deciding their child's education would best be served not in Homewood High School, but in the Islamic Academy of Alabama, conveniently located in Homewood, Alabama. Yes, I agree. If that's who they want, if parents want the child to go to school there, they've got that right. But I don't think state and federal public tax dollars should go to fund a
I don't either.
school that's owned and operated by a church.
I agree.
And that's not just mosques.
John, hold on a second. Now, you're a lawyer. You know better than to say what you just said.
Well, now, listen to me. You disagree with John.
You know
I'm fixing to
better.
cut you off.
Wait a minute. You know better. I'm fixing to tell you why. If you use that same logic and that same approach in your argument, then you must also say the converse of that is true as well. If you can't have a kid from Homewood taking the money that him that's designated his parents pays in for that kid to go to a mosque.
You're breaking up, Pat. You still there?
Pat, you've been gone a long time ago. I told you I was going to hang up on you.
Look,
Is
the money that all four of us sitting at this table have paid taxes into the state. When you go to Big Star, if I go to Big Star
you don't.
back in Russellville, I'm paying 3% to the city, 2% to the county, 2% to the state on my purchase. Okay, if those are my tax dollars being paid to the state, do I have a right to barrel into Russellville City Hall and demand to decide how my 2% of the tax dollars I've paid are spent? Of course not. It's a foundation of government. If they're mismanaging it, then you vote them out and you get other leaders.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think we walk a blurry line with, with these saying, it's just like
Are you there?
the whole, and I'm not a abortion advocate by any means. I think it's wrong. My personal opinion, I was adopted as a baby. But
I tell you what, your daddy and mama didn't know how to pick 'em.
at the same time, if some of your most staunch conservatives, Scott, will tell you the government needs to stay out of people's lives. We have too much government. The government needs let people decide, and no government interference. That sounds great until, except for for birth control or abortion, then the state needs to jump into their lives and say, you can't do that.
You're
There's
absolutely,
some inconsistency there.
over time we have blurred lines that originated in the Constitution. There's the old, separation of church and state. I don't know of anybody that's against that until you start to talk about religious schools, etc., spending tax money on certain types of health care, etc. You're absolutely right. We blurred all those lines, and that's why we have a court system and bills and politicians and try to unblur them or at least make them as specific as possible.
Do you care what Mars Hill? Let me come on. Let's make it dumb and simple.
I thought you weren't talking today.
I mean, but you keep bringing up the damn same thing, and then you ain't something. The biggest problem, I'm telling you, if you stop and listen just a minute, I know you're a lawyer, you got your mind set up, and your daddy and your mama are good folks, but they know how to pick them damn kids.
Gospel according to Hutty.
You know what I mean?
It's like picking the best grapefruit.
No, they found a grapefruit about rotted on the ground when they got you.
Here comes the gospel of Hutty. Go ahead.
But anyway, it comes back to sports. Most I've been in. How many private schools you been into?
I haven't.
Well, I'm telling you, I have. I sat there and I was like a guy with a camera, or just sitting around there. Not one time, a bunch of times. Wasn't like Northwest where they took the damn stuff away from the head from me and John. Listen, they run a good operation and a good Christian. When have you walked into a school? Now, I walked into Mars Hill and also at Shows Christian. And there were 4 kids at the table right in front, where you come in, sit down, and talk to people. You get it when you go in. Reading the Bible. Do you see it in a private school? You don't do it.
No.
They've got some good things and bad things. The only thing that everybody raises hell about is like when Mars Hill first started football, they came down here, and their kids were twice as big as our kids. Are you following? And beat the father. It wasn't that we got beat. It wasn't fair. If our elected officials would do their damn job, we wouldn't have to be talking about this stuff. It's like I heard our governor last night sitting there talking, telling about this, that, and that. If they'd have done their job, we wouldn't have it. Why does all the damn highway, y'all drove on the same road I rode on, we finally have a 4-lane 2 miles long, and it's split down the middle. If it's raining real bad and you can't see it dark, it throw you off. Why don't they fix that? It's been there 7 years and nobody touched it. But they go over here to build a 6-lane, want to build another 4-lane all the way to Gulf Shores. Go to Huntsville. It's unbelievable what they do with material. Nothing. Government people is where your problem is. It's not your schools. It's not your teachers. They do a good job. Even I give them a hard time. I'm against Shows Christian and them playing against Shows Christian's weak now, Mars Hill Stout. But I'm against playing both of them as long as they. I think they ought to have their own division. Why they got schools? They want to keep the Christians, their religion, in the school.
Look, I know.
Why play ball? Why are you playing against somebody that's not religion?
I know the trend, Hutty, is against me. With vouchers and all these other, we have a climate right now that embraces parents having more choice. I mean, the act in Alabama was called the Choose Act.
Right.
So I understand that's the wave, and I have no problem with that. I just think it's kind of an end run to get, I mean, if the state could properly fund private schools, they'd be funding them right now with their same proportional share, just like public schools get. So using these vouchers to me is an end run around something that you otherwise couldn't do.
Good morning. You're on the Hutty Show.
Fire away at us.
It's the mayor of Union. I've got something I need to tell Hutty.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm listening to you, but
Well, I used to work a long time ago.
I don't believe that either.
Oh no, I did just for a little while.
Don't come down here, call down here lying.
But I worked with a pipe fitter. His wife was a school teacher in Colbert County, had been for 20 years, and he had 2 sons that were twins in the 9th grade, and all of a sudden they went to Mars Hill on scholarship.
Yep.
And she got a job. And I told him to his face, I'd fire your wife if she'd ever worked for Colbert County. She wouldn't have to wait till the end of the year. If that's what you want to do, go with him. But he wouldn't do that. And I said, well, it's public money, and you know, somebody else is paying her. And she's not doing anything for your kids, so school's not good enough for you. And he kind of agreed there at the end, and so did everybody else. But you can't compete with them. It's like competing with Russell. If you live 2 feet outside the city limits, you have to pay $600 a kid. So just keep them out of the city limits.
And why do you think that was done? Was that done with academic motives in mind? I don't think so. That was done in an effort to try and slow down that increase in enrollment because of the looming possibility of being moved to 6A classification. Because if they were really worried about enrollment, they wouldn't let teachers who live in the shoals bring their kids to go to school at Russell.
Why did I get beat three times 20 years ago? Run. You can't do.
But it's money. It's money.
You can't do
it's
this.
Money.
It is money. It's all about money.
And exactly what they did is what happened to them right now. I mean, hell.
And then,
look
if
at
you're
the
not a good
other
football
private
player,
schools
you don't
now.
get a scholarship. If you wanted to go to one of those schools and you wasn't good enough football player, or
That's right.
your academics wasn't good enough, because you know how Hackleburg is, they cheat all the time. So, you know, as long as
I know
you
you
got to
from
the 4th,
Faircamp.
5th
I know
grade.
you from Union.
Well, I only went to Union one day, and that's when it burnt. But
And look,
I can believe that.
to our mayor's point, if obviously these private schools are in good financial position because when they have a good athlete who they want to go to school there, whose parents couldn't afford to send him or her, amazingly a scholarship opens up.
yeah.
So if they can afford to waive that tuition, why should we be funneling tax dollars?
What's the guy that played at what's the school in Huntsville was so good for a long time?
Madison Academy?
Madison Academy.
Yeah.
When he got a scholarship at went to Auburn, great play, and he got a scholarship at not a scholarship, played for Minnesota. I meant for hell, I don't know, one of them. Huh? What?
And I thought I worked once.
Yeah, but listen, he drove all the way when he started from Muscle Shoals to Huntsville, and he go right by Muscle Shoals. It goes by Carbon County,
Athens.
all these schools. Why the hell did he go over and had to pay his own way? Come on now, boys. I mean, it's all sports. What's caused the problem?
Well, you take sports out of Russellville, see what happens to them.
Well, they might have.
And it's an
Well,
interesting.
that's
you're
the problem.
You're right, and that's why we, I think, in large part, just had the coach unexpectedly resign because
Wonder why.
he sees
More
the
money.
writing on the wall if Russellville is lumped in with some of these traditional rival schools that would be dropped down because of the competitive advantage. And we've got legislators
I
who,
say 20 years ago.
who-
Y'all said, "Oh, he's lying."
you know, for
Well,
instance,
when I went to school, I played against Russellville, Haleville, Hamilton.
No, you was out
Yeah.
there. Hell, you didn't play.
Well, I was on the ground.
Well, yeah, you don't laying down on the ground. Had a damn
Well,
flag in your
somebody-
hand. Leave me alone.
it's an
Somebody's got to rest.
an interesting position
What you
with,
play, who you do.
with legislators. We have a lot of legislators, including our representative in Franklin County, Representative Keel, who staunchly support the Choose Act and a parent's right to send their child's tax dollars to where they think they'll best be educated, but at the same time
where they're going to live.
have also very publicly been critical of the athletic competitive advantage. And look, if you're sending tax dollars to this private school, why should the AHSAA impose additional regulations on them? Why don't we just count their enrollment like everybody else? If it's this great school that's a panacea for all our
We've
education
got leaders
shortfalls,
talking just like you. Hell,
Why-
they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
you know, why not just open the floodgates? I see those two as a little bit inconsistent, but he's far from alone in that. That Choose Act got on very overwhelming support, but if you're gonna support opening those schools up to get tax dollars and parents to send their kids there if that's what they think they should do and getting a tax break for it, then how are you going to turn around and try to legislate how they compete athletically? You
I'm
know,
glad you ain't a preacher. Hell, we'd be
Yeah.
there at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. The Choose Act is a reaction to how poorly schools were funded.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me tell you something. My grandkids go to East Spring. They had one of the highest math scores in the state last year. Anybody brought that up? Nope.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. John, you describe a utopia situation that just doesn't exist and hasn't existed in a long time. And now we're talking about one of the last bastions that used to be a very big plus in a child's education, and that's the sports program. But previous to that, we talked about their religious upbringing. These are all basic building blocks our children have to gather and get and absorb in
But
order
you don't
to be
have to
adults.
Go to a school. You don't have to go to a school to play sports.
No,
We got a great baseball team out here at Phil Campbell that, some of them played in the Little League here.
and you're absolutely right. And that's how some of this stuff built up. But
Hey,
the
we'll let you
point,
talk, buddy.
the,
Don't worry about it.
the point.
Hey, look, I married a Yankee too. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, she's from Pennsylvania too, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's close to New York, but I ain't going.
Hey,
Everything I miss about up there, I can do in a
what
long
you need to do
weekend.
is bring her down here
Then get
with you,
back.
And let her sit next to the
No,
Yankee
I'm
over
not
here.
going
Yeah,
back.
they communicate real good together.
But
Look.
the point is we keep doing end runs around what was
He's
working
trying
to
talk
begin
you,
with.
and you won't listen to him.
Oh no, I
That's
don't
where
know.
they are. That's where
Yeah,
my wife's
he's-
been for 50 years.
And he's talking about the educational aspect of good grades, good schools, on all those, which is the absolute basics, right? The 3 R's. If you don't teach that, maybe some civics, some history, so everybody
you can't
understands
talk
the things, you're not going to get there. Sports teaches you how to work with other people in a team atmosphere and be a better productive. Religion gives you a good, solid basis as a citizen. And what we keep doing is tearing them down and then rebuilding some different version of alternatives. And
Now,
we
if
got to
the
get back
mosque
to
had a
that.
Football team. The
What?
mosque had a football team. There'd be a lot of people, that said that's okay.
I don't know
Say
what-
say that again.
I could. He kept talking. What'd you
If the
say?
mosque in Birmingham, where they wanted, had a football team and a good football team, nobody'd say anything about it.
That's an interesting
I'm not
point.
kidding you.
No,
Go look
that's-
on the roster of Alabama and Auburn. There's several, Muslims.
Well, John's got something over his head now.
look when
Well, that's just mostly Auburn students, but
it's, you, as evidenced by listening to their responses this morning, they want to make an exception when they don't agree with the foundational doctrine of if you're gonna across the board give the Choose Act right to a parent to decide their child's best educational plan, then you can't then turn around and say, oh, but that can't be to a Muslim or Islamic school, or that can't be to this or that school. It's either permissible or it's not. And I think that should be a separate argument from whether or not it is legally constitutional to provide private schools with state tax revenue. I have an issue with
Don't
that.
you think living up there at where you living at? It's one of the best places in the world to raise a family and to live. Most people.
I don't know. I didn't live there till I was 4.
Public
didn't get much.
education
Well,
is,
if I'd been your daddy, I'd have kicked you out. I'd have kicked you out anyway. I'd have brought you
Hutty,
home to the hospital.
if we went and stopped 100 people in Franklin County randomly today and said, what would you share as the best thing about Franklin County
Well, it's
to
other
somebody
counties.
who's never been here? 80 would mention the public school systems.
I would agree.
Well, I mean,
So we're blessed here. We have, and they have a tough,
the
especially
other
the
schools
county
around here are
schools.
too.
Yeah.
It's a rural system that
not just Franklin.
struggles, and the same thing's true in Marion. I mean, you don't see failing schools among any of those, and we don't have the presence of private schools like they do in larger cities. So I get that we're more removed from it.
We are. We
And
have
I
no
don't
money.
think private schools should be in competition with public schools when it comes to tax dollars. Can a public school recruit a student to come there because they want to get that tax dollar? No. Can they recruit legally
They can
an
do it under the
athlete?
table.
No. Can a private school call up a star player from the local public high school and say, hey, how'd you like to come have a free education and play for? Absolutely, they
bring your
can.
mama.
And that is a disparate playing field from the outset.
And I guess my point on all that is if you don't like the exceptions that are being created throughout this whole conversation, then fix what was wrong that led up to creating the exception.
Our move. Now, that's what you've done from New York. You come down here. You're the reason
Taking
we
up-
got the problems down here.
But, and I agree.
You brought all that damn stuff. New York
There we
City.
go. All I got
God,
to do
it's
is move and everything's
all your
fixed.
fault.
It's all my fault.
Global
That-
warming and everything.
Oh, that too. Wow.
It's
Hey,
very
Jack.
rare that Scott and I disagree this morning. Now, this is unusual, but it's a troubling path to me to take when you start pulling and giving people the right. I mean, to say they're my tax dollars and I have a direct autonomous right to dictate how they're spent, why shouldn't that be true? You know, if somebody pays federal income tax and they think we spend too much on defense, should they just withhold their paying their taxes because they want that money to go to
Go ahead.
the Peace Corps? I mean, of course not.
Then again, if you don't like the exception, fix what caused the exception. To your point just there.
We're not the fixers is the problem.
No, but the people we elect do, and we elect some pretty lousy
they
people.
don't. No, that's exactly right.
We elect
That's
some
what I
pretty
said when I
lousy
got beat
people.
3 times.
I read an article
Exactly what I
earlier.
told everybody.
I read an article this morning that claimed that Congress was finally starting to work again, getting back to what they would do. They're actually
Where did they get a
passing
job?
the 12 appropriation bills that they're supposed to pass annually, and they look like they might actually get it done by the end of the month, which is the new deadline, instead of a CR. We've got 2 or 3 generations now of people who understand what a CR is in Congress, who never should have figured out what a continuing resolution was. Because if they just passed the 12 appropriations bills and did their
Well, how do you
jobs,
figure it
you
out?
do that. Now, you don't want money to go into defense. You want more to go into education. You want less to go here, more to go there. You got to work through your representative, and our representatives
Why is the
don't
same
We're
thing
talking
work.
not
about
true
schools.
on,
We ain't
on
talking about
education?
Exactly, same thing. Work
And
through your representative.
I'm telling y'all,
if you don't like the exception, fix what's wrong
public
underneath it.
education is at risk in
That's
our
what we're talking
country.
about.
Public education is under attack. I've seen this in Alabama public school enrollment next year, projected enrollment is down over 10,000 students.
Why is public education in Alabama under attack?
Because you're making it easier and you're giving parents a financial incentive to go put their child into a private school that can woo and recruit and throw benefits at that child.
Is that addressing a symptom or the disease?
The parent has the right to do that, but it's the money train that goes with it. Do you think these I mean, that's the issue. And if you give people this, turnkey authority to just pull their tax dollars from public school and follow their child to this or that school, it's a dangerous path, in my opinion.
Yeah, when you start making exceptions, no matter what the topic is, it's always a slippery slope. You're absolutely right. But I get back to the basic. Then fix what's originally wrong.
Well, don't you think the whole country, really? We're talking about schools now. What department? Well, I say department. What section of life we're gonna get back to normal? Every section of life we do business, it's terrible. I mean, what you want to buy a car or a house, you can't hardly do it like you used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even religion, they got our world all messed up. And y'all keep saying our same people we got in office we ought to keep.
No, I'm not.
Somewhere we need to change something. Now I like most of them. Are you following me?
You can
Hey,
like
most of
them
them
all.
liked you, but they didn't vote for you.
But hell, who did? I mean, I ain't found nobody yet that did.
Many times in my
Me and one of my
20
cousins.
years
You and your
of
cousin. Hell, you didn't know who I was back there, Tim.
in my
Randall
20
Jones, he
years
voted
of
for you.
knowing or radio with Hutty and the 30 years I've known him, the absolute kiss of death. When you hear the executioner Hutty say, "I like blank, but a hammer is coming."
Yeah.
That person,
Well,
Jimmy.
I'm not ashamed
I
of it.
like that Jimmy, but he's a son of a bitch.
He sure is.
The hammerjacking is coming.
Look, you can like all your politicians and elected officials,
Well,
but you got to give them a job review.
Oh,
And
boy.
are they doing it?
No.
No, they're not.
Listen to me. They'll sit there and listen to me, and he knows back 20, 25. He'll sit there and they'll tell what they're going to do. Well, why didn't you do it already?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't done it.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Well,
the
you were
mayor
told
of
not
Union called in this morning.
I'm
That
glad.
was a good final call.
You know how many votes he got?
How many?
One.
I'm
One.
No, I
glad.
didn't. I didn't vote for myself. Believe me.
I know your wife voted for you. That's what I can.
No, she didn't.
She's from Yankee.
Believe
She's
me.
a Yankee, like what mud nose down here.
And Pat set us up for this
He did.
dramatic
And then he left.
point he
It's-
was going to give, and then he got cut off.
It's all Pat's fault.
Well,
I didn't
he
cut
tried
him
to get
off.
his kids
No,
in another
Hutty
school.
didn't zap you, Pat. It was your phone reception.
Well, he said he was headed to a medical
Well,
appointment.
let
Maybe
me
he
ask
had
you
to go
something.
to it.
How's everything up in Hodge? I'm at the Union, son.
Yeah, it's fine. I seen 4 dead foxes on the road this morning, and a coyote and a skunk. I didn't hit the skunk though.
Well, that's
You know, every once
It's,
in a while,
it's suicide out here for some reason. I
Sunday-
don't know what
Sunday-
it is. All the animals are dying.
Sundays a week ago, I got in my car and I drove up to through there and drove through by the school. Went down to Pebble. Went on everywhere. See, son, don't have no wreck now. Well, anybody will pick you up. Well, you criticize everybody today.
John has left the building.
Thank
I've
God.
got to go to Dollar General and spend some money so my kids can go somewhere to school.
Well, let me ask you. You're talking about grandkids now, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm old. I've been married 50 years. I got grandkids everywhere.
Well, I ain't even married now, so I'm gonna have to find me somebody to wake me up.
No, you might get elected first. You're not going to find nobody to get
Well, I ain't
married.
doing no damn good getting elected. Hey,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
after 61 years, I think my wife got tired of putting up with me. That's why she died.
She just left.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And,
Jackie's left the building.
well, I tell you, it is.
I believe she could have whooped you, though.
I tell you, it is different when you're sitting there by yourself down there.
Well, I imagine. Don't want to imagine, though.
And I don't agree. I mean, I did everything I could do for her, and you know, we argued and we fussed, but I do that with everybody, so I don't mean I dislike her. You know what I mean? So,
You didn't want to discriminate.
no, but out of 61 years, I guess we got to. She's worse than I was, I think. That's what I tell her anyway.
I got to run. Thank you for calling in. Great discussion. Appreciate it. Hutty, thanks for not talking
Well, you want to
today.
say a prayer before you leave? Hey, your view's sent
no,
enough.
No, I'll let you and Jimmy take care of that.
Yeah. Jimmy.
See y'all later.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
put your mic down there.
Tell them again.
Yeah, we can solve it right here.
That's right. Call it in. We got answers.
Yeah.
Well, he
They may not be the right answers, but we got answers. Hey, everybody have a good week. Take care. John and I will see you next week. Hutty, thanks for the forum. It was wonderful. Jimmy, have a good show.
Well, before we get started on just our odds and ends, we used to do the funerals and birthdays and stuff, and nobody does it. Right now, I need somebody to do funerals. Keep your mic up where you talk.
I'm going over to the note over here.
It's going over to his
Well, hell, they can
favorite
see you.
side.
All right, go ahead. Do what you want to do. You're worse than a woman. Just want to swap places the next place.
Just hang on.
Anyway, some of these things that really we might get out of line, but it needs to be discussed. And it seems like to me that we're tearing up our country more and more and more, splitting it up more and more on everything. But anyway, I did both of those schools up there, and most shows of Lawrence, shows Christian, and Morris Hill, and really, I'll be honest with you. If I had to go over again and I'd send my child there, I mean, when I went through there, I couldn't get over how you walk in the door, and kids sitting there. I was out there wanting to do some fighting or fussing or doing something or trying to flirt with the women, and they sitting there reading the Bible. You know what I mean? And it comes back to sports, in my opinion. That's where we all split up.
That's the mainest thing.
And that's where it ain't not to schools or not to the teachers and all this stuff. It's really when you in competition with somebody, you want to beat them, and that's where it's about. And their rules are a little bit different than our rules. And really, and about the same thing coming back to the money. If we give it to the state of Alabama, I think it ought to go to state schools. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
I don't think it ought to go to private schools. If they want to be private, they ought to be been in these other schools around here. That's my personal opinion. That don't mean it's right or wrong. And
Take care, guys. Have a good week.
boy, I tell you what. What's wrong with y'all girls? Like, can't y'all see Jimmy ain't no damn good-looking man? My God. Well,
I told you.
huh? That's why you want to be. Anyway,
I tell you that topic y'all going on this morning, that's been going on and on and on
what?
about these private schools and
Well, it hadn't
public
been.
schools. Everybody knows you have 100 people you talk to them about that. That 100 people would agree with what y'all said about the public and the private.
Well, this is the problem. Most people in our part of the country is not rich. I mean, and listen, Huntsville, I like your mayor and all them people over. I got no problem with them, okay? But y'all make a lot more money and a lot more jobs than we have here, and your highways are a lot better. I mean, if I was our senator, our governor, and all, I'd get this damn mile fixed up here where it's split down the middle and interstate. I mean, and nobody's took care of it. And if you'll notice, our highways are not cut either.
No.
And you know, I used to pull out of there in front of Grizzlies, and you couldn't even see it both ways. The grass is damn high. You know, take care of the people around this part of the country. And really, that's just my personal opinion. That's y'all's job, why you're elected. And if you have to cut back some, instead of adding on some. And another thing, if you look at the salaries that some of y'all make now, I don't care about how much money you make, but whenever everybody makes over $100 and something $1,000, as an department head, there's something wrong in some schools. And if you're not, be happy to have you up here and discuss it. I mean, if you're calling me a liar, well, let's prove it. And you know, I know Marion County don't get that much, and Western don't, but there's some schools, some places do. And but anyhow, let's get away from that. See, we don't have the power. All we do is talk. And why I have it on the radio, y'all have the power to call in and talk about it if you want to talk about it. I mean, probably what you say is not going to do a bit of good, but at least it gets it off your mind a little bit. You tell somebody something, you know what I mean? Teacher, Jimmy threw something at me.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's not what it's for. And just remember, in this part of the country, I'm one of y'all. I've been living in the house 60 years, you know, the same place.
You couldn't leave it, could you?
Well,
That's,
I mean, hell, everybody knows it. And true, everybody I played golf with, everybody I drank coffee in 4 or 5 places, every one of them's done died.
oh, yeah.
And about and one thing about getting old, every friend we got just about gone, ain't Jimmy?
Just about.
And in a matter of time, we're going to be gone.
There you go. We're right on the verge of ourselves.
And I don't want nothing from nobody. All I want is we get our act together and.
We're probably, men, you'll never see the days of what you've been talking about us being.
Well, Northeast Alabama is getting everything.
Yeah.
Northwest Alabama not getting nothing. Now, I don't understand that. And that graphic.
Well, you know where it's coming from.
Well,
You know, politicians.
Well,
Down South's getting all the benefits.
well, I'm just telling you, and Run Ridge and Huntsville's getting it. It's on kind of Redstone Arsenal.
Yeah, they got all, yeah. And they got all them, got the big plants up there, got all this. That,
And I like the governor. I've not been up there. I mean, the governor, but I should have been governor.
Mayor,
Mayor.
yeah. He's been there a long time.
All right, let's go on about the sports. We got sports. Last night we had and tonight
You ain't got none tonight.
huh?
We don't have any tonight.
We got that damn tournament tonight.
It's tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow night.
Yeah. See, Wednesday night they not have it. Thursday night, start back.
Yeah, 21st is left off, ain't it?
Yeah.
No, 14th left off. 13th, 15th. Sorry about that.
Yeah. They all start back tomorrow night. All the tournament.
Who plays tomorrow night?
Well, tomorrow night you got Phil Cameron. The boys, it'd be Phil Cameron, Red Bay, I think. Then you got the girls. You got. Let me make sure what.
Well, hell, ain't you prepared?
I got too many things going on at one time.
Well, hell, we're gonna listen to you.
Okay, Thursday night, you got Red Bay. This is girls. Red Bay girls, Phil Cameron girls. That game started at 5:30. Then you got the Red Bay boys and the Thorptown boys at 7 o'clock Thursday night.
Oh, yeah. I thought Thorptown played last night, didn't they?
Who?
Didn't they play last night?
Yeah. No, Thorptown did.
Belgreen. Belgreen.
Belgreen played Vinyl in both games last night.
Yeah. I listened to it. I had it on radio.
And Belgreen won both games over Vinyl, the girls and the boys. The boys won 73-17 over Vinyl, and the Belgreen girls won 62-26. So Belgreen girls and boys advanced on to the next round. So they'll be sitting back playing the winner. Some of these games have been playing Thursday night.
Well, it's a long time to who the winners are.
Yeah.
What else you got?
A lot of a lot of ball games last night.
Well, what are they?
We're not even in the county tournaments.
Well, hell, what are they?
All right, I got you. In the boys' action, Huntsville. Now we're talking about Mars Hill. Huntsville played Mars Hill last night. Huntsville beat them 78-40. That's pretty good lick.
Well, that's a silver.
Mars Hill usually pretty good.
Well, I know Mars Hill is pretty good, but people don't realize that Huntsville has got so many athletes moving in here.
It's hard to beat a big school.
The same way with Mars
They got
Hill.
a big enrollment. And Dessler over Hatton, 56-36. Florence 52. James Clemens 45. Now, Hackberg got a win last night, 70-31 over Brilliant. Cutter Christian 70. John Paul II 52. Cobbett County 65. Clemens 41. Shoals Christian 56. Cherokee 38. Mosa Shoals 67. Dessler 38. Carbon Hill 65. Haydenville 36. Fairview 45. Russellville 26. And of course it said Belgrade over Vinyl boys 73-17. In the girls' actions, you had Lexington over Wilson. That's in the county tournament over there in Lauderdale County, 56-50. Lauderdale County defeated Lexington 74-44. Dessler over Hatton 76-36. Brilliant 58. Hackleburg 45. Of course, Belgreen 62, Vinyl 26. That's in the 25. That's the girls' action. Russellville 66, Fairview 52. John Paul II 51, Custer Christian 43. Shoals Christian 48, Cherokee 43. Haleyville 51, Carbon Hill 47. Dessler 46, Most Shoals 34. And Wilson 56. And Central 50. So that's the high school games last night.
What about the South? You tell
Now, over the Tennessee line, we have.
Say,
Huh?
what about the South? We go, huh?
Well, I told Hale, I ain't got all the scores down towards Northern
Right.
Southern. I don't know who played down south last night.
Well,
This is all in the northern section.
well, I know, but you know, we broadcasting all the way down to. Okay. I'll start getting that up. I mean,
And also in the last night at SEC, we had 3 games. Alabama over Mississippi State, 97-82. Texas A&M, Tennessee. A&M beat them 82-80. Tennessee won 87-82 in 2 overtimes. And Florida 96 and Oklahoma 79. So that's some SEC games last night. But the tournament gets back underway tomorrow night. I listened to part of them games last night.
well, is that all the sports you got?
Well, that's all, well. All these coaches getting fired again.
Well, tell who it
What's
is.
his name
Hell,
got
they don't. They don't know. I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, this is one college. This is
Well, we still don't know who they
pro
are.
coach. He's been there about 18 years.
Who?
I don't know.
All right, let's go. We'll go
You
on.
get over on what you got. And let me find out.
My goodness. All right. Inflation. I'll go with what little I know of what's happening. You look it up today. Inflation is running about 2.7%, and that's good. And that's what they're saying. And it was big time under Biden administration. And Bill Clinton didn't show up yesterday for congressman, and his wife is supposed to be there today. Now, I don't know what they might do something to his wife, but now on Bill, see, when you get to be president, you're immune to a lot of this stuff. He says he's checking out what is right and what he can't do. And he says he's not supposed to be a witness or anything like that. And that's why he didn't go. And that will be playing out in the Supreme Court, what you're going to see. It's going to be happening. And Hillary, I don't think, has got the same thing as he's got. And she might or have to show up. I don't know. She says she's not going to show up. And today, you might want to watch your TVs or news, everywhere you get the news at. And Maxine Waters, I can't believe these people. And truthfully, why I say that, see, I do know and she's black, and I don't even like bringing up black and white. I do know that black people were treated terrible before, and they get rights, and they deserve rights. But why is she going up there fighting for the illegal people and ain't fighting for her own people? See, that's what I don't understand. Not the hell of a race. I'd rather fight for somebody that is American than somebody that's not American. That's just my opinion. Or Alabamian, or what town you're from, or what county. And I don't understand everybody wants to fight for these people are not from America. I don't understand that. And that's going to happen. And just and Speaker Johnson, you know, he's the speaker, and he says that the United States will not take no military action against Greenland. We ain't gonna take it by force. And that's the first time I've heard anybody say that. I've heard Trump say he's gonna go take them, and they're gonna be sanctioned and all that stuff. And they're gonna be part of America. I don't know. Speaker Johnson brought that up. I knew there was a lot of stuff going on up there. And Iran says yesterday, now I can't prove this stuff, but I'm just telling you what's in the paper, or it's on my website. Hutty Hudson, that they have killed 2,000 people on this demonstration they're doing over there and what's going on. And really, if that's the case, I'm not saying American, but the world ought to do something about that. When they walk in, they say, and they walk up to you, and you don't have a gun, or you don't have guns, they don't have guns, and they got guns, and they put it to your head and shoot you. That ain't right now. Come on. I mean, hell, that's you wouldn't do it. You don't want to do a dog or a cat or nothing like that. I don't understand that. And then they say that that's happening. And you read it today, that's going to be playing out too. I'm sure they'll get behind that. They just, while I pulled it before I come on the air. And another thing they're doing right now, Trump says, I've heard this, and it's on my webpage, that he's gonna cut funding for sanctuary cities and states. And truthfully, if they're not going to do by the Americans, our laws and regulations, they need to be. My God, that all y'all in love for? Y'all got problems now. Tell them how they love you out there. Where they at now?
Idaho.
Idaho.
Big town, Idaho.
Text me, tell me how y'all like Idaho. I never have been to Idaho, have you?
Nope, never been there.
Hell, I sure ain't
That
sure.
must be a good place.
That
Got good people.
is that right next to Bell Green?
Yeah, right off to the right.
Yeah, okay. Start town. I get lost. I ain't going to Union. I know what the mayor up there won't shoot me.
Yeah.
But anyway, on the webpage, we do get out quite a bit. And on radio, we are the largest station in Franklin, Marion, Winston County. And there might be some more counties. I don't know. That's just what I pulled up. And I don't know why I pulled this up, but I did. They said, why I did, I bought some tomatoes. And these winter tomatoes ain't nothing like it, fresh tomatoes. You know what I mean? I like a fresh tomato sandwich and mayonnaise and a little cheese on it, and I'd make a meal out of it.
Yes, sir.
But they tell me eating a lot of the tomatoes make you have bad gum disease. I never heard of that. Have you?
No, they come up with something all the time. I never heard it either.
And that's on my webpage. It's got the percentage of what the kind of stuff you're going to catch. I don't know.
Well, I know one thing. I've eaten many of them. I'm still chewing.
Well, how much you weigh, Jimmy?
About 170.
Skinny as you are?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
About 6'1".
Yeah. That's pitiful, Jimmy. You eat too many tomatoes. Right? And Trump says he canceled the meeting. He had a big meeting with Iran. And he didn't go. He canceled it. And he's telling people over there to stand up for your rights and hold a ball of wax. And it's really hard to stand up with somebody with a gun. You ain't got a gun.
Oh, I'd be kind of afraid too.
And I don't know. I don't think that in the United States, I was in the Vietnam War, and I know how it is to leave your family and loved ones. I didn't see anybody that I knew. I saw Tommy Swaney the first day I was there. Other than that, I didn't see nobody. I didn't hear nobody's voice for a year, or you follow me, that I knew. People said they heard my voice before. I didn't know.
I guess I'm sure they did.
Well, hell, I hollered.
If you was talking, they heard you.
Well, hell yeah, I talking. I want that. If it's going to fight, I want that sucker to come out and fight on live. I don't want to fight, not part-time. Let's do it and get it on with.
There you go.
I mean, you're 13,000 miles away from home, and I guess that's why I'm so bold now.
How long did you stay in there?
I got a 2-week drop. See, I was not big build up, and a lot of people got 30 days and 12 days. Fort Texas with them, and I got. Oh, Mildred, listen, baby, you gotta get you some glasses. All I know. Your television lying to you, Jack. Anyway, or a computer, and I'm telling you, I just got this on the web when you heard that beeping. The United States military personnel are told to leave the Mideast, and I don't know. I hadn't read the story, but that's just what I got text. First, it says some U.S. military personnel is told to leave the Mideast. I think that ain't gonna get worse. It get better over there. And I might be all. I'll quit reading my texts. But I get texts from everywhere, really. I try to put them up there.
Well, you know, all these countries and everything's just sitting right now on a firecracker. They could just go off any time. It's a bad situation. Just, you can't none of them get along. It's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen one day.
Well, the Middle East is where most of our problems came in the Vietnam, Korea. Is where we got involved. I don't know why. I'm just talking hillbilly talk now. Hell, I ain't never heard them places when I got drafted. Are you following me?
I'm sure not.
You know, I'd heard about Korea, but hell, I didn't know where the hell. I was too young for Korea. Are you following me?
You'd heard of them, but you didn't know where it's at either.
Well, I didn't know where it's at either. But it's easy. See, China wasn't nothing. Nixon went over there. The next thing I know, everything we buying is from there. And over here, we quit building anything, buying anything, or nothing else. And our shipbuilding. Now, Trump wants to start building a lot of ships. But it takes a long time. Them ships are big old ships now. And it takes a long time. We're weak. They say we're the strongest army in the world. I don't believe that right now. And we don't even have the draft anymore. And I wasn't for the draft. But sometimes we have to go to draft. Even the Vietnam War, at the end of it, I was drafted, and that's when they stopped it. We may have to go back to it. But big problem, we got so many people in the United States that are not citizens of the United States. And if war breaks out, the hell they gonna leave.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I was in Vietnam with people from Mexico.
Well, they not registered, no way.
Well, you got a lot of people that was here, especially back then. They were from Texas and New Mexico, or citizens. They'd born here, but they kept up what's going on because their family was. They didn't want to really talk American because the whole family talks Spanish. And hell knows I got nothing else to do. I talk to them. And they're as patriotic as we are. But when you let 20-something million people come in the United States at one time, that's lasted for 4 years under the Biden administration. You know, if I was a congressman or a senator, I'd just have him up for being a traitor. I mean, it's proven that he might not be mentally stable, but somebody was pushing buttons. And who was there putting buttons, I'd be out of their butts. Because your kids and even your grandkids may be affected sooner or later.
Yeah.
All right.
You take 20 million people. That's a lot of people.
Hell yeah, it is.
That's a lot of people. And where are they all going to go when they get over here? Just
Well, that's why we're having
here
problems
and
now.
yonder, here and there.
I mean, the biggest problem we got right now in Minnesota is not really them, but the people raising hell up there. Most of them are not from around here part of the country.
Yeah, I know it.
You take in our part of the country. Most of the people that were born here, that were from Hispanic accent past, are good people. Their parents were good people, but we had some bad ones too. We got some bad ones, and if you let too many bad people in the United States, they make more bad people. They have babies. They're what they think and what we think are two different things.
Well, you know what? 50 years ago, Spanish. You hardly seen anybody from Mexico lived around you.
Well, you didn't see anybody from anywhere.
Yeah, I know it. No, nowhere.
Hillbillies.
That's right. But now, just open your door. You see them everywhere you look.
Well, what the hell do you think I've been talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. Well, they just gonna keep pouring in here, pouring in. They gonna run us poor souls right on out the door.
Well, I don't know what's going
Something
on.
ain't gonna happen. Something don't happen.
I'm just telling you
And
what's happening.
killings and all these every day, more and more and more killings. A lot of thugs that come across the border.
What?
The thugs.
What?
So a lot of thugs came across the border.
You talking in unknown tongue.
And
What you say?
you don't know how many we got over here right in these small towns. We got them.
Well, Jimmy, when you got a country as big as the United States of America is, and you don't know who the hell comes in here, and when they get here, they can spread out all over the country.
They ever were.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
And,
and that's what the problem we've got now, trying to get them back.
but you read a lot of they come in here and the Spanish, whatever. You see them. They don't get along to sell. You hear killings every day. Or once kill another one, this and that and other. It's something unreal.
Well, Jimmy, boil back to this. If somebody had to let them in here,
There you go.
no matter what, if somebody had been watching, doing their job, we wouldn't have had this problem. And that goes from the state, United States, that goes to the state of Alabama or Mississippi, or it goes to E County. They don't take care of who's coming in here. That's the problem. And overall, really,
Well, you go downtown, down Russell there, you got all them buildings, every buildings, you know, they bought them all up. Spanish is just you got barbershop, they bought every building, everything up. And if something happened, all them had to pull out of here and leave here. Russell there ain't gonna be nobody left in Russell. All right, that's what's in Russell now.
well, Jimmy, what the hell you think I've been talking about?
I've been talking, I know it. What we gonna do about it? Nothing.
What?
Just sit there and let them keep
I don't know, Jimmy. I know I gotta go.
Don't let me and you do it. We'll take care of it.
Well, I'm just telling you that that's the problem we have, and not just our problem right now. What Trump's trying to do, and he does a good job, but he's kind of like me. He talks too damn much. He needs to keep his mouth shut on some things, and he's trying to get them out of here, where Biden lets them all in here. And I'm not, and hell with Democrat, Republican. I don't care who it is. They did do it, and I ain't talking about Democrats, Republicans. See, I think there's some real good Democrat people out there, and business people. They don't have any power. You got some good Republicans out there. They ain't got no power. And I thought Trump was going to be our salvation. He did good the first, but he hadn't really done anything that either.
I don't know what they can do. I tell you, why did Biden let all of them in here?
Well, that's what we don't know.
That's what you thought he'd get them all in here and get them all arrested, and that'd help him in the
With that,
election.
and I think if you look at most of your stuff, your Social Security, your Vietnam, your veterans, they get paid that's been hurt, and stuff like that. Like your housing, where's that money going? I mean, and people can't even buy houses now. It's so high. Materials so high. Why? I mean, really, when you have 20-something million people come in this part of the country, you're gonna have that problem.
You better believe it.
And you wonder why you go try to buy a steak and it's $17 or $18 or $21. That's ridiculous.
I know it.
Well, that's the reason. You got more people here.
More people. And
Those people, them people got to eat.
Right.
And I can't believe the gas is coming down like it's coming down.
I think right now I don't either. I mean, tomorrow it may not be.
Look here now. I don't know why y'all won't blame Biden for all that.
Well, I got to happen under his administration. Anything happen under my administration, under me, I get blamed for it. I've been blamed for stuff.
I mean, you know, it's been going on for years.
My stuff.
Biden just let so many in at one time. We all standard citizens seen it.
Well, that's a shame, man.
It is a shame.
And,
what if we take him over and turn him loose in their country?
He wouldn't know where the hell he's at. You know that.
What would they do to him? I know what they'd do to me. Hang me up by my toenails.
You wouldn't last long, I tell you.
I got news for you.
I wouldn't last 5 seconds over.
Your little skinny toes, and nobody wants your toes. No toenails.
Well, I mean, that's beside the point. I'm American. They don't want me in their country.
There you go.
Well,
and that's the way the United States is. If you're not American, you know, you need to step back into your country.
Well, why? Let me ask you a question. Say you're the United States of America. Why would somebody let 21 million people come into the United States in 2 or 3 years?
Well, it's all backdoor pay. They think that's going to buy them away to heaven, but they change. They're crazy. It's buying them away straight to hell. That's exactly where they're going. And I'm not the man to judge, neither. I'm just telling you like it is.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job of it, Jack.
Well, no, I'm not a judge. No.
I said you're doing a pretty good job judging.
I'm just going to speak it, baby.
Well, I mean, in my mind, I read all this stuff all the time. I can't see why. I mean, truthfully, if you were a president or a big wheel in the country, why would you take care of your people and somebody else's people?
I agree. I agree 100% with that.
You know, we got elder people, a lot older than me and Jimmy now.
Yeah, I agree. Just a few days older than you.
That worked hard all their life. And I didn't say I did. Now they did, and they raised their family, and they having a hard time meeting with it, and more when they draw. Hard time.
Yes, hard. A discussion between meals or medicine.
Yep.
I mean, that's basic what it is.
And it's a
meals
shame.
or medicine.
That's about all we live for, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you work hard all your life, and you say, well, I'm you ain't throwing pennies no more.
Yeah. Where you at today?
You ain't throwing nothing.
Where you at today, big boy?
Double Springs.
Can you hear us over all right?
Yeah. These pine trees let the signal come through. You know, over in the forest, man, it gets hard to listen, but no, it's coming through clear on the radio.
That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, and then you go back to the blacks. Talking about they was treated wrong. Now one of these folks today that's living today was treated wrong.
Well, I didn't say that.
Now one of them.
I didn't say that now.
Now one of them.
I didn't say that.
I mean, if you want to go back in history, we was all treated wrong.
Well, I mean, right now.
I mean, every stinking one of us.
You in Double Springs, won't take you a minute, drive over to Decatur. Just think about it. I'm not knocking Decatur now, or Coleman, or Huntsville, or Athens. Are you following me?
Any other city, that's right.
We're like in northwest Alabama. We're like a bunch of damn bums right now. Where we were treated, and we are treated.
I agree.
And it's a shame.
I agree. We don't have nothing in our corner of the state to bring nothing in. The only thing we got going for us, I-22, and it's a scenery route. And that's what they put in it 25, 35 years ago when they started that darn thing.
Well, see, I go back.
They made it for a scenery route. How you going to make money on scenery?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not.
Listen, all they got to do right now is put, this is what I don't understand, 12 miles. And really, you might do 12. I think it's about 10. From Hackleburg to, really from Hamilton, I-22, to the top of Spruce Pine Mountain. And you go all the way to Canada. Don't you think you'd open this whole damn area up?
And it would do a lot. Because we have a lot of history in our corner.
Oh, yeah.
As far as moonshiners and outlaws.
Do you know?
I mean, you know, that's a lot of history here in this corner for people to stop by in these small towns and read.
You know, moonshine.
And if you opened it up to the world, say what?
How you bring up moonshine? I pulled up. I pulled up.
That's just
Moonshine was a big operation.
Well, I'm trying.
back in the 70s and 80s. Moonshine is what we drank.
Well, I'm trying to tell you now. I pulled up last night for moonshine, and I don't ever think I've ever had a drop of moonshine. Are you following me? Because I was 24 years old before I had the first, 23 years old before I had the first drink of anything. And I was going to Vietnam, and I figured I needed some guts.
You just loaded up over there, didn't you?
And what I did is going over there. Moonshine, how they made Northwest Alabama.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's the article, and I didn't read it. I've got it wrote up. Who read? You might find it on Alabama.com. You can find it now. And
yeah, I agree. And what other? I mean, I'm sure there's other states, but who else has a coon dog cemetery?
Well,
for your coon dogs. Used to be only coon dogs. Now they got dead gum stupid house dogs buried there.
Just any dog. Yeah.
I heard it had a cross up there named Hutty.
Well, they could have.
They think I'm a
waiting
dog.
on that dog to die.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where they're going to put him with the head of it.
I guess I can howl all night, can't I?
I don't know.
That's right, baby. You ain't going to bother nobody.
Well, I tell
You ain't going to bother the dead up there. I guarantee you that.
I'm not going to bother you, that's for sure.
Well, what I understand really is we, the United States of America, and there's nothing. I listened to the State of the Union last night. That's how damn dumb I am doing the ball game.
Yeah.
How can northeast Mississippi, Alabama, North Alabama?
See, now, Mississippi is doing well.
What?
The northwest corner is.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's got, yeah, you got to go a few miles to get to Tupelo, but it's doing well.
Well, you know why?
Tupelo.
They got more minded over there than we do here. They say they got their gambling. They've got their casinos in Tupelo, and the state gets taxes off of that. I mean,
Oh, I'm sure they do.
we don't have.
They get all my
we can't
money.
we can't even have a lottery, and I'm not a gambler. Are you?
No.
I mean, I'm
Well,
yeah,
you are. Yes, you are. You're a gambler.
Well, not big.
Look at the word and see what gamble means. When you get in your vehicle and go from your home to your location, you're gambling not to wreck.
Well, I agree.
Now, is that not gambling?
I think about that every time I get in a car.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
you look at anything and make it, gambling.
I'm afraid I'm going to get shot. That's why I drive it so low you can't see me in there.
All right, well, my one bar is dropping out.
Uh-oh.
Well, listen, son, you be careful over there, and don't tell nobody you know me, because they will shoot you. He done dropped out.
Done left us.
All right, what else you got, Jimmy?
That's it.
All right, folks, we're going to get out of here, and thank God you told me I've been sitting up ready for the ball game
It's a
tonight.
good thing you ain't here tonight, yeah. It's tomorrow night.
We do have the Franklin County tournament rest of it this week, and I know that some of y'all would like to hear music and hear some more stuff. But I want to hear our kids. one or two things I try to do at
Yep.
the radio station is have our kids let them be recognized, and I want our churches to be recognized. And I don't care what religion they are. And
You're gonna shift gears. You're gonna be over in Marion County next week,
well, I know, I agree, but
Phillips High School.
and you preachers, y'all getting lazy. Now I'm telling you, I've been playing you for nothing for a long time, and here it is, Wednesday, and I hadn't got a sermon yet. Last week I didn't get much sermons, and I think some of y'all need to fire some of you preachers. If they're too damn lazy to send the.
Well, you may have to start doing a little preaching.
Well, Jimmy, see,
I think we have.
I don't. I'm talking about God's word.
I know what.
I ain't talking about me and your
I
stupid
know
way
what
we
you're
talk.
talking
I'm talking about God's word. If they can't put the sermon, and I don't add nothing, don't take nothing, and don't charge nothing, and if they're too dadgum lazy, do the sermon, advertise for your business, and not advertise, but let people hear it out there. They can't get up, or I got no way to get in there. It's a shame and disgrace. And I think some of you preachers need to be and I like all of them, but I think you ought to be dusted. You ain't got stuff to be in charge of your church. I mean, when you give, and you
Well, if you want to be heard, just get on the air. A lot of people can't get out.
well, that's
go
what I'm
to
saying,
church.
Jimmy. That's why I do it.
And they sit at home and listen to them.
That's why I try to do it.
A lot of days when I'm not able to, and something happens, I can go, hey, you sit there and listen. It's a good sermon.
Well, you ain't gonna listen to no sermon.
I do every Sunday. I listen to them.
As sorry as you are, you know.
I'm trying to convert you, but I ain't doing too good.
Yeah.
But I do every Sunday.
All right, folks, we're going to have to get out of here. Anything you want to talk about, Jimmy?
No, that's it. I think y'all just about covered everything today.
And I hope my man today gets where we can get both of them on there. And I didn't do anything wrong. Somebody put something on my webpage. They can get on my webpage, and I got red tagged. And I didn't even read what was on there.
They just throw the penalty on you. You don't know what happened.
Yeah. Hey. But anyway, my penalty's over with. I just got to get my man to get it reestablished. See, I've got Facebook now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to 3 or 4 other things. One of these days, I'd like to have like talk shows and this, that, where we'd be on there all the time and not mess up with the music, okay? And the preachers and ball games where the kids and this part of the country can be seen. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
That's all I'm trying to do. I mean, and if I make any money, what would I do with it?
Spend it.
On what?
I don't know.
What the hell? What would you spend any money if you had any money as old as you are?
Well, I give it to my grandkids.
Well, I ain't talking about that. What would you spend money on?
You know, I don't spend on nothing much.
Well, hell, I don't either. That's why
I might buy a few clothes or something. That's about. I don't spend much money.
you need to buy a new hat.
No, that's a good hat.
That's a clean hat. That's the first one.
That's a brand new
Where
one.
you get that hat at?
I got it right here in this place right here.
Well,
They give it to me.
how about paying me then?
Huh?
I ain't got my money.
But I ain't got my discount yet either.
Senior discount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I believe you.
Have you ever got a senior discount when you went in somewhere to eat or something?
If I do, I don't know it.
I may have, but yeah, I'm like you, but I have had a few say, okay, they knocked it off a little bit. Not very many of them.
Well, I look so young.
But like me and you, well, we don't take a whole lot no way when we go out to eat.
I'm kind of young.
Yeah, you are. You get on down there.
Yeah. All right, folks, we got to go.
We appreciate y'all. I don't know if we appreciate us or not.
Well, why
Have
should
a
they
good day.
Why should they appreciate you, buddy?
I don't know.
Let me get my glasses where I can see. I'm blind. The numbers are getting too small. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here.